all of the Western teams have experience with, but they've all seen how powerful it can be, and it's been banned a whole bunch so far in Western games.
It's I mean, it's something. If you look at the tooltip, if you actually read how Sunray works, it's quite difficult. It's easy to read it and not really figure how the damage scales. You have to really be careful. I remember when I was in Shanghai, there was, I think, a few days into the tournament, after seeing many Phoenixes, that we'd all been discussing, like, what's up with this Phoenix? Why did Liquid keep forcing support Phoenix? And a few days into the tournament, Syndrin on the bat home just points out to all of us, guys, you realize how the damage works. It actually like incrementally increases. So the percentage, you know, if the Sunray is on someone for the full duration from start to finish, you've dealt them something absurd like 70% of their max HP. I'm not sure what the exact percentage is, but you don't get it if you look very quickly. If you glance at the skill, it says 6% health cost per second, and then damage per second it says base damage per second 15, 20, whatever, max damage. It's got there, what, 5%. Now you'd think 5% over 6 seconds, that would be 30%, but it's actually a lot more than that because of the way it increases on itself. The percentage actually goes up, and I think that that's something that's quite important to understand about the like sheer damage output of this hero that's, I think, can just be underestimated. And so people for a very long time, before seeing that this was being spammed in Chinese pub the way it was, didn't actually understand entirely just how crazy strong that spell is.
For me, what's going to be the big question in this match is just whether Finem can play on the level that they need to beat out Liquid. We've also already got fun Greek spam. By the way, shout out to all of the people watching. I know most of the people watching are probably rooting for Finem to win, since there's another big game going on right now with our Korean overlords, but I know most of you who are watching are fans of Finem, so good luck with that. And I'm just interested to see whether, as you said, Finem can get the push out early enough, and they really do need to win their lanes, which is not an easy task against Liquid.
I just thought of something which is totally irrelevant, but I'm going to mention it anyway. In the last week, I've played a ranked game on Madara's side, and I played a separate ranked game on Mind Control side, and I lost both of them. But interestingly enough, in the game when I was playing with Madara, he was playing Drow, and it did look like it was a hero that he was trying to deliberately practice. So I don't know if it's like particularly for this game, or if it's just because every team knows the moment that Drow's, Drow strategies are something you need to be able to do. But as playing the hero, he seemed to know exactly what to do. He played exceptionally well. I mean, this is an 8k MMR player right there. And on that basis, I feel like a Drow strategy, if your Drow player knows what to do, in some ways is not that difficult to execute, and they will be able to play at the level they need to. Kuro is going for the courier snipe, and this
is it really? Okay, I was gonna say, okay, he's gonna get it too. I can't believe this is happening. This is not something that should happen at this level of play, but it has been a while since Bounty Hunter was picked every game, and sometimes teams just forget.
Yeah, it's funny, like, I think every second time I see a Bounty Hunter in a pro game, there's a courier snipe actually, and it's like when you say it, people should expect. Yeah, people should expect it, but at the same time, it's like, exactly the strength of the hero is almost that, like, they might have even discussed it and in some way expected it, but the Dying kind of stood there initially, thought maybe that's a deterrent. They decided, okay, the bounty's probably over there somewhere else, and I don't know, it's just a hero that consistently, even when teams do expect the career snipe, it still gets the occasional one anyway.
Now, Skylark's getting quite a bit out of this top lane, hasn't really been harassed on. Matamaman has no support since the Phoenix dove over to the mid trying to harass, and actually this Phoenix is just going to pull. So Matamaman is still getting something out of this lane, but we're probably, by the looks of it, we're going to see a very formed Skylark going into the mid game.
Yeah, which seems pretty good for Finem. I think they'll definitely be happy with that. I'm interested in Kuro's movements. It's not just the career snipe. He still has boots. He didn't start with Orb of Venom, which is usually what we see on a Bounty Hunter, and obviously the fact that Jerax is willing to buy all the support means that he can start with the boots, but a lot of Bounty Hunters, I think, even with the gold to start with boots, would choose to start with the Orb of Venom. It gives you more potential to actually threaten kills and harass. The boots makes you more mobile, more like you can be in lots of different lanes. You can have a shorter time between being spotted at the bot lane, at the line, and then suddenly at the mid lane.
Ooh. Okay, not quite able to steal that arcane rune. I'm also interested in Kuroki's movements. Obviously, he's already gotten a lot just getting the courier snipe, but it does feel like he needs to get kill involvements, needs those levels. So we'll see whether he'll hang bottom, soak some experience, or whether he'll keep trying to make it work. Because this mid lane, not one that I think Kuro can kill unless Thug makes a big mistake.
Yeah, that's almost certainly a big part of the Queen of Pain pick there, because if we recall, they started with the Nature's Prophet pick and the Bounty Hunter was immediately the response. Queen of Pain came after. That's like, okay, well, this is the way we're going to make sure that your Bounty Hunter is sort of neutralized, and in some sense that I think that makes the Boots start even more questionable, although Boots definitely helped to snipe the courier, which he did do, and he's gone back to the Orb of Venom now, so the courier is going to become an extremely big nuisance for the Lion to deal with. The only thing helping the Lion to handle courier at all is a very well placed sentry ward that's going to show him heading into the jungle each time.
And we haven't talked about it too much beyond the fact that Skylark will come out of this lane very formed. Anti-Mage does have 6 CS. This is not usually the start Matumba Man has. And that's another thing I'm wondering. He's obviously very good at farming. I haven't seen too many games where he's been forced to catch up.
Yeah, it's not usually the case, that's true. He normally gets the game that he wants. It's actually quite difficult for Liquid to adapt in any way that would change that right now, because with only the Phoenix there to support him, they can't contest the lane. I think that even if the Bounty Hunter were to come back up here, all three of them together, they probably struggle to deal with this dual lane. I think that's... I mean, I was talking at the end of the draft about how they take the Undying and not the Spirit Breaker for the more direct approach grouping up, but Undying actually has this effect on the lane stage, which... If you go back to a patch or two, there'll be no shortage of VODs of teams running Undying +1 as the aggressive dual lane exactly for this purpose, to just like put that pressure on the safe lane farm and make it very difficult for them to get their early lane farm.
It's suddenly working here. Oh, Balta actually going to have folks TP in onto him. He's immediately using the Spirit type, and I'm not quite sure what Skylark was doing there. He may just get brought down. They're slowing him. They now have the Icarus dive over the top, and that will be a first blood. Thug has already used... Oh no, has another blink at the ready. Could get out of this one. We've got Spartan coming in, has the Tombstone, but okay, they should be able to kill off Jerax, getting him for free. Balta is still chasing with that haste rune, and now here comes in Kuroki. So Spartan should be going down. One more auto attack. He manages to get off the decay. He pops the one charge and the heal. Fodder's coming in though. Can they do anything about Fodder? They drop the Tombstone. They should be able to get Fodder here. A really nice play coming out there, and Thug unable to chase more onto Kuro. That was not what I was expecting there.
It's well played by everyone involved, and you were asking a question like, are Finem gonna play at the level of Liquid, and I think so far so good. Like, ask questions maybe about the career being sniped, but like I said, honestly I see that happening to just about any team at some point in time, and I think just the small interplays like suggest that I don't think there's any kind of like Finem of Liquid in their head. They're scared of them. They're gonna give them too much respect. They're playing the game at the same level as Liquid, and actually they're starting off very much ahead.
Yeah, they have a better start on their carry. Now, Drow versus Anti-Mage, this is also something we haven't talked about too much, but obviously AM has a nice easy way to get up in Drow's face. Do you think that her silence will be enough to protect her here against the AM, or does she even need to worry? Because Matumba Man may choose not to fight until he's got quite a bit more farm.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's close to irrelevant. Well, they're gonna try and kill her Sentry Ward to spot him out, and that's gonna be the Gust and the Beastmaster with the TP and Gro's death.
They might even get mind control here. He's incredibly tanky. Maybe next time. Okay, what a sprout. Okay, he still goes down to the ball, but they will manage to find the kill there, almost saving his life with that sprout from Skylark. That was really impressive.
Yeah, so what I was going to say is, you're right, Anti-Mage can jump onto Drow, that's really good for Anti-Mage, but as far as I'm concerned, this game is kind of like, if Finem win in their own timing windows, like there's times where they peak with their Drow strategy to like group up and push, they need to win in those windows, and if they don't, if the game gets past those windows, I think they're going to lose regardless of if like Anti-Mage is going to blink on Drow in a fight. I think that Liquid's draft is just going to look a lot stronger unless they're already sort of 20 or 30k gold behind. If the game starts going late, Liquid's draft is just going to outclass Finim's draft. But the thing for Liquid to worry about, as I said during the draft, is why Drow is good against Anti-Mage, is that the draft strategy is one of the few strategies that quite consistently can end the game before Anti-Mage even has Manta Style, when Anti-Mage is like on Battle Fury and trying to get to that next item.
Yeah, we wouldn't be surprised. Madara will reveal to us soon exactly how he wants to build his drow, whether he's going a lot of Wraith Bands. Up on top, actually, Jerax finally more stably sitting there with Matumba Man and helping him get some CS. So he's done a really good job of catching up, actually.
Yeah, he's gotten basically all the creeps. As soon as the Undying wasn't in the lane, I think he's gotten every.
Oh, down on bottom, we have a Tombstone drop. Madara gonna get healed up here, but in comes the Phoenix, a nice gust getting them out of the way, but Madara is still in a lot of trouble, and it's looking like he will burn to the ground. Tombstone already being brought down, and suddenly there are 4 in this bottom lane. Maybe next time goes for the TP away. So Spartan will fall here. There's a lot around him. Is he... Okay. I for sure was not expecting him to just walk it off, and he's even thinking about going back in.
He's considering, he's gonna sneak into the shop for his boots. Should be just about fine getting them. But this is still, I mean, it's still an overall win for Liquid, even though they rotated more heroes in. And exactly what we were talking about before, how Anti-Mage can free farm and get all those creeps back up now that Undying's gone. So I sort of feel like Finem want the Undying to be making things happen, making kills, not being on the receiving end of kills. Because he could have just stayed at that top lane longer and kept the anti-mage's farm down for longer, and leaving the lane was a deliberate decision that we want to apply pressure to the map elsewhere.
Double damage.
Meanwhile, on top lane, Skylark finally receiving some pressure. He's doing well when it comes to CS, but he's not actually top of the net worth chart. And Fodder as well. Haven't talked about him too much. He's just doing his standard, mostly sticking mid, but he'll drop that exorcism, get a push out, and this could do some heavy damage to the mid tower.
Yeah, it's interesting also. I noticed Jerax is at the moment maxing Fire Spirits ahead of Anime, although usually I think he does go 1-2-2. So I'm just quite interested to see when he gets level 5 if he's gonna be 1-3-1.
Okay, Sonic Wave comes out and Thug just manages to pick off Fodder, while at the same time they're poking away at that bottom tower. That was...
Thought I tanked the tower just a little bit too much. And I think Thug had actually figured out exactly the damage output he has, and he was like watching Fodder's HP, and as soon as he took that last tower, he was like, okay, got it. And
yeah, Thug also had the end of a DD and the Drow Aura, of course, so your damage threshold much lower for Thug to burst you.
Absolutely. And okay, Jerax does just go for the regular 1-2-2. I was wondering if he'd max the spirits first, because there's a lot of right click coming out, but you don't really need to, because in terms of the slow, it's still pretty relevant from early levels. While Finem are pushing bot lane, they took the tier 1, they look like they might want to get the tier 2 as well, and this is, I guess they're starting to hit their timing. They're starting to recognize, you know, we can get a lot done without Drow Ranger. Anti-Mage is still farming, Bounty Hunter is not level 6 yet, Phoenix is not level 6 yet, so it takes a pretty big commitment from Liquid to contest them, and speaking of that, Liquid actually going for this big commitment.
They're walking in for it. There's going to be the Icarus dive in, we talked about no 6 yet, the Tombstone has been dropped, but the Spirit Siphon onto 2, Fodder getting healed back up a lot, the Tombstone still standing there, Madara, he has been isolated the heal, but it won't be enough. He's taking a lot of damage. The Tombstone is poking away at them, but with 2 already gone on Finem, Tombstone, oh, this jump in with the scream. She should be able to get 2, maybe she can find 3. The finger comes out, finishes off mind control, and what looked to be a disaster may still be pretty even. Kuro going to just wander away. How long on it in is he has the Shadow Walk up. Thug doesn't have Scream for a while. He is just TPing in it, and she cannot scream in time. So Thug will not be able to kill Kuro, but that fight ends up being even.
And by the way, that's a very minor thing, but some people might not know. You can, most windwalking abilities you can like use once you're TPing. And if you hadn't done that, he would have definitely died, just the right clicks. Like you can start channeling your TP and then press the windwalk and it doesn't break the channeling.
Okay, you have to make sure that you do it fast enough, but otherwise you should be able to reliably get it off. I have to say, really good engagements by Thug. This is the second time he's capitalized on what looked like a bit of a lost opportunity, and maybe they'll do it again. Thug about to have the Sonic Wave back up. It is in fact back up. Maybe next time, looking for that Hex or a stun. Anything. There he goes. Opens with the Hex onto Mind Control. Gonna throw out the stun next. Undying gonna come in. Nope. Just walking up. Thought maybe he'd throw out a Decay. And as you said, they're grouping to push already on Finem.
Yeah, Thug was a little bit odd. They're actually gonna go for kill in the mid lane, maybe on Fodder.
Okay.
As one.
Again, Fodder goes down.
I mean, DP is a hero that's actually really squishy to this high burst kind of approach early on in the game.